Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of ReelHazardous. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that bell to get notifications for when we put out new videos. Also, find us on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook, and follow us on those platforms as well. Okay, now let's get started. We had been planning this trip for a couple days, and it kept getting pushed back, unfortunately, due to the wind. But finally, it started looking good. At least wind-wise it was. The sky, not so much, as we were greeted to storms as we got offshore. Because of these storms, we stopped earlier than we were intending to, about 15 miles offshore, instead of going all the way out to the humps. We fished and trolled around that area for a little bit, kind of dodging storms, and kind of got caught in the middle of some rain, which wasn't too bad. And thankfully, after that came through, it started looking nice again. So we decided, well, let's continue out to the humps and see if we can find some fish there. When we got out there, the current was still pretty strong, and there was a good upwelling right over the humps. Also, there was a lot of good bird activity, so conditions were looking pretty good. So we're pretty excited. We get out there, quickly put out our lines, and the fish start biting. We started off with some dolphin, thought it was going to be a good day of a lot of dolphin, and ended up switching it around to tuna.
Got a mahi on. Everyone! Right! And then mahi. I love you, man. I just reeling it in to get grass off of it. Hit it. Everyone! Hey, good catch. Good catch. Go ahead, Karen. Bring him in. Oh, dolphin. He's jumping. Oh, yeah. Big one.
See anything with them?
Jimmy. Nice one.
The tuna started just biting really well. A lot of blackfin, a couple of skipjacks as well. Send this bad boy on back out. Whoa, there you go.
Where are you at? I see a fish here.
You want me to bring that one in?
Nice black man.
There's a crazy pack of birds right there.
Yeah, look at it. Everybody's want a piece of that action, aren't they?
Yeah. Took a good bit of line off.
Yeah, I didn't have it tight.
Okay.
Well, actually, I had it tight, but I thought the first one. There you go.
It was just a really good day of fishing. And I think there were two big reasons that we did as well as we did. The first off was we were able to stay on the fish. And when I say we, I mean Captain Don. He did just an excellent job of driving the boat. Sometimes they think, oh, driving's easy, right? You just pull lures around. No, you have to really pay attention to do well. You see, because the current was so strong, it's real easy to get off the spot. I mean, I'm in the back of the boat, you know, working the lines, and I don't, you know, you can't just tell where you are. I mean, it's a giant ocean, there's no land in sight. it's hard to be precise just by looking around. He was using his GPS and recorder, and he kept track of where we were catching our fish at. And as he told us later, there was really just one main spot where we were catching them. And there was a lot of boat traffic there, a lot of boats at the humps. So, you know, it can be tough to get your lines around, you know, work back to a spot in a current, as well as dodging other boats and, you know, other fishermen with fish on, stuff like that. But he just did a great job keeping us on the fish.
I would have to say they're on fire today. On fire, baby. You're staying right there on them. I'm trying my best to stay on one spot. I just done that out there. I got a quarter or a half a mile circle that I'm trying to stay in. It's hard, but I'm staying in it. Yeah. We've got business. Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby!
Yeah. The second big reason why we did so well was because we had a really good crew working the boat. We were really efficient. So we had Captain Don driving, paying attention, doing exactly what he needed to do. And then we had 5 of us working in the back of the boat, making sure that the lines were out, that they didn't get tangled in grass. When they did, you know, we pulled them in quickly, cleared them, put them back out. You know, a fish would hit, we'd all work together to fight the fish. We'd get the fish in quick, you know, double headers. You know, we still had enough people where 2 people could fight a fish, 1 can net them, you know, everyone else could keep an eye on everything. As soon as the fish got in the boat, you know, we were quick to put our lines back out. And because we'd all fished together before, you know, we knew what to do. You know, we could put the lines out. I knew where they went. My dad knew, Margie, my brother, all of us. You know, we just quickly get the lines back out, start trolling, just like that. You see, when it was just me and my dad a week ago, we did well and had a great time, but we missed several good opportunities because there were just 2 of us. See, one of us was driving and the other was trying to work all the lines. So, you know, when you get a fish, it takes a lot more time for one person to put out the lines than it does 5. I mean, 5, everyone can take a rod, put it back out where it goes, and you're good. 1, you know, that person's got to go around, and if it gets grass, he's got to clear the grass. You're just not as efficient. And, you know, sometimes the boat driver, you know, my dad would come and help me, but then it's hard for that person to pay attention to, you know, where we're at and, you know, working that current and staying on the fish. So those were our 2, you know, the 2 big things that really helped us do well. We worked together well, we were efficient, and we stayed on the fish. We were pulling some C&H rattle jets, and we were also today doing really well on these small little feather flies. Mostly black and purple, and some red and black. Those were our best lures today. Okay.
I'll make it.
Yeah.
They were target or what?
Yeah, a little bit. Our spread was pretty simple. We had 3 lines off the back and 2 on the sides that were run through the outriggers. Now the side ones, we usually like the rattle jet, or sometimes we put like a popping lure, and those would be closest to us, popping on the surface. And then our flat lines would be furthest back. And that's where most of the activity came from. Most fish hit on those flat lines. Now, each of those 3 flat lines, they're staggered in distance. One's long, one's medium, one's shorter, and 2 short ones on the outriggers. All of those flat lines were run through clips There were little clips right on the back of the boat. So all of our lines were actually through a clip. Now the advantage to this was that when grass gets on, you know, something gets tangled in it, it'll pop out of the clip. So we'll say, well, you know, what's the deal? We'll know something's wrong. Typically grass, and we'll be like, okay, it popped out, let's check it, clean it, put it back out. Because if you're pulling grass all day, you're probably not catching fish. Now if a fish hits it, yeah, it's gonna pop, but it's also gonna screen drag. So you can tell when it's fish versus grass. So that's a good visual audio indicator. If it pops or you see it up, okay, I better check this. Otherwise, you know, if it's just bent, you know, you may not notice a slightly more bent rod that's pulling grass. You might go 30 minutes or, you know, who knows how long with grass not catching fish where you could have been catching fish. I'm catching the fish. We had some good tuna hit, a couple double headers. It's pretty cool. You can see in some of our shots where the fish hits the line. You know, you just see that thing start bending or the drag start screaming. That's always really exciting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nice fish to me. I got a double.
Double.
Oh,
Double header.
Chris was screaming. The humps offshore, you know, it's pretty much like what it sounds. It's where, you know, you're in, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 feet, depending on which humps, and they come on up, some up to 400 feet, which, you know, still pretty deep, I guess, when you think about it, but that's a big piece of structure coming up from, you know, 1,000, you know, 600 foot, basically a little mountain underwater. Our lures didn't have anything fancy about them. They're pretty much stock lures. Like, I didn't rig them, they came rigged, a lot of them. And I think they had like maybe 80-pound mono with like a 7/0 J hook. And we just put them on a swivel. There was no fancy fluorocarbon, nothing like that. Sometimes I think that helps. Today, it didn't matter. They were just hungry and they were biting. And ultimately, you know, where it is important to have a good spread and, you know, have just the best line, sharp hooks, all that good stuff, you gotta find the fish before you can catch them. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have the prettiest, best looking, you know, best lures in the world. If there's no fish where you're fishing, you're not gonna catch any fish. So, first things first, find the fish, and then worry about all that other stuff later. Hope you guys learned some stuff and enjoyed the show. Remember, find us on the other social media sites and subscribe to us here on YouTube. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.